In this we are going to talk about unit conversion for distance. So the thing is, we have discussed till now about the speed into time is equals distance formula. That's a very simple formula that we discussed already. We also used the proportionality concept based on this formula to apply for the questions. What happens sometimes is that they will give you these things in a inconsistent unit. That is, like, I can give you speed in kilometers per hour and I give you time in minutes. Right, let's say a man is moving at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour and he traveled for 80 minutes. What is the distance covered by him? What you need to understand is I cannot multiply this. Speed into time is not correct in this case. Why? See the units, right? Speed is in 100 kilometers per 1 hour. I should multiply the time in hours only. I cannot multiply in minutes, seconds or anything. Right? And if I multiply time in hours will get cancelled out and the answer would be in kilometers, not in meters or miles or something else. There's a very important thing to understand and multiply, divide units which are consistent. If I give you a distance in meters, let's say 100 meters distance is covered at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. How much time will I take to complete this journey? It's not 100 by 100. Why? Because this is in meters, this is in kilometers per hour. What should I do? I should convert this into kilometers or this into meters per second and get the answer accordingly. Do not make the mistake of using inconsistent units to get the problem, right? So let's focus on the distance part. What are the standard units that we will see generally in distance? See, generally you have to be only careful about meters, kilometers and maybe centimeters. Sometimes miles also would be given, but you don't need to know the conversion thing for the miles. Generally 1.6 kilometers is a mile, 1.6 something, but you don't have to be able to convert this. You don't need to worry about that in questions. If they want you to do that, they would give you a conversion number, like 1 mile is equals to some kilometers. Otherwise they generally don't give, right? So don't worry. If they give miles, technically the question should be focusing everything in miles. But if it is in meters, kilometers, centimeters, then you have to be comfortable in converting them. Right? What is the relation? 100 centimeters is equals to 1 meter. 1000 meters is equals to 1 kilometer. Right? This is the thing that you need to be comfortable with. Let's talk about this, right? What is 350 meters in kilometers? If you can answer it straight away as 0.35 kilometers, that's great. But let's say if you are not comfortable, right? I'll tell you something like this. This is the proportionality concept. So 1000 meters make 1 kilometer. How much would 350 meters be? X, just do cross multiply. X into 1000 is equals to 350 into 1. So X is 350 by 1000. Right, that is 0.35. So technically, to convert meters to kilometers, all I need to do is meters should be divided by 1000 to get it in kilometers. Let's say you're not clear, you're confused, you're worried, then stick to this. This will take you maybe 5 seconds more, but maybe solving few questions, it will help you understand this easier, right? Anything, this proportionality would work, like centimeters to kilometers, right? So what is, how many centimeters make a kilometer? So obviously 100 centimeters 1 meter, so 100 into 1000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 1 kilometer. And let's say if I'm asking you 5000 centimeters, how much is it in kilometers? Just do cross multiply, I'll get the answer. Right? So it will be like 0.05 kilometers. Anything. So I'm just saying, for example, you should be like centimeters to meters also, you can do this. So applying this concept will help you. Next thing you should know is about the speed. So let's say I give you speed in kilometers per hour. How would you convert that into kilometers per minute? How would you convert kilometers per hour to meters per second? This is a standard conversion, but let's say if I ask you how would you do for meters per hour, whatever it is, you can convert to any of this. There is no problem in converting one to the other. All you need to do is just understand this at a very fundamental level. Let's say I'm saying that a man will move at 100 kilometers per hour speed. What would be speed in kilometers per minute, right? Let's try to do that. 100 kilometers per, so this is like 100 kilometers per 1 hour. When I say the speed is 100 kilometers per hour, it is like 100 kilometers per 1 hour. So 100 kilometers by 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. So this will be 10 by 6. So that is basically saying 5 by 3 kilometers per minute. if I have to convert this into meters per second, 100 kilometers is what? 1 kilometer is 1000 meters. So 100 kilometers 100 into 1000 meters by 1 hour is, see, 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes and 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. So that will be 60 into 60, that is 3600 seconds. So 3600 seconds, right? So this is basically written as 100 into 1000 by 3600 meters per second. That is how you get this. If I cancel, I get 5 0, 18 0. So to convert a speed in kilometers per hour, right, x kilometers per hour to meters per second, it is simply by multiplying x into 5 by 18. That's what you do. But on a fundamental level, that's how you get it as well. Kilometer is 1000 meters, hour is 3600, 1000 by 3600 is 5 by 18. That's how you get it, right? Let's say I have to convert kilometers per hour to meters per hour, right? As simple as it. 100 kilometers per hour is 100 kilometers per 1 hour is equals to 100 into 1000 meters per 1 hour. So the speed is 1 lakh meters per hour. That's how it is. You don't need to do this way. Most of the questions won't require you, but I'm just showing you because once you get this clear, you should be able to do any conversion very easily. Now let's say if I have to do it in the other way around, like let's say meters per second to kilometers per hour, right? The shortcut is this, x meters per second, you just have to do x into 18 by 5. But how would I do it, right? I'll show you that. So it is saying x meters per second is this, right? X meters per 1 second, right? If I have to convert meter into kilometer, right? I know that 1000 meters is equals to 1 kilometer, right? What is 1 meter? Let's assume this as d. Cross multiply this. So 1000 into d is 1 into 1. So d is nothing but 1 by 1000, right? So that becomes x into 1 by 1000 kilometers by, similarly, 1 second, 3600 seconds is equals to 1 hour. 1 second is equals to, let's say, t hours. So cross multiply, I get t is equals to 1 by 3600. So this will be 1 by 3600 hours. So now how would I get this fraction? This will turn out to be x into 3600 by 1000. This will be 18 by 5, right? Yes, you can remember this. Some of you or most of you obviously remember this, I guess, as a habit. But I would strongly recommend you, yes, remembering this is not a bad thing, that helps you. But you should be comfortable with this conversion. I ask you to do per kilometer per hour to kilo per minute, or minute per second, or whatever, meters per second, meters per minute. You should be able to do it very comfortably, right? Then if it comes to time, the standard units you would see would be hours, minutes and seconds. And all you need to understand is 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes, which we already discussed earlier, is equals to 3600 seconds. If I say a man can move at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour and travel for 180 seconds, what is the distance covered? So 180 seconds needs to be converted into x hours, because the speed is given in, let's say, 100 kilometers per hour. I need to convert this into hours, or I need to convert the speed into meters per second and apply the second, multiply with seconds to get it, any of this. But let's say I had to go in this approach. So what is this? 3600 seconds is 1 hour. So 180 seconds is, let's say, x hours. Cross multiply x into 3600 is equals to 180 into 1. So x is equals to 180 by 3600, right? This will be 1 by 20th of an hour. So 100 into 1 by 20, that will give me 5 kilometers is the answer, right? So simply that's what you need to do. Minutes is also the 60 minutes is equals to 1 hour. So 30 minutes is, let's say, x, cross multiply x into 60 is equals to 30 into 1 is 30, x is equals to 30 by 60. So this will be 1 by 2. See, technically if I say 10 minutes, it should be 10 by 60. I should divide by 60. If I say 100 seconds, to convert into hours, I need to do 100 by 3600 hours. If I need to convert this into minutes, I should do 100 by 60 in minutes. This is what you should be doing in actual exams, no, to be quick. But let's say if you're confused, if you're not clear at the basics, that's why I'm asking you to do it this way. This is a very basic level, but after a point of time, you should be comfortable in understanding what should I divide to get the answer, right? So let's solve these basic questions. So Ram travels at a speed of 90 kilometers per hour and the distance is given to be 400 meters. They're asking what is the time taken by him to travel in seconds. So I need to find the time in seconds. So this is in meters, perfect. I need to convert this into meters per second. So what is the formula? Into 5 by 18, right? Kilometer per hour to meters per second is multiply with 5 by 18. 18 ones are 18 fives are, it is basically 25 meters per second. So distance time is equals to distance by speed, that is 400 by 25. That is 25 ones are and 25 six are, that will be 16 seconds is the answer. Right, let's get to this. Sam covers 135 kilometers in 90 minutes. Find the speed of Sam in meters per second. Right, so this is being asked to find in meters per second. There are two ways to do. First, find this in kilometers per hour and convert into meters per second, or convert all of this in meters per second. So distance is 135 kilometers. What is that in meters? I'm doing both the ways right now. 135 into 1000 meters, right? What is the time taken? 90 minutes. Make sure you convert this into hours, right? Because if I want to do in kilometers per hour, I cannot divide 135 by 90. I need to convert 90 by 60 hours. That will be 3 by 2 hours. Or if I am doing it in seconds, it will be 90 minutes into 60 seconds. So what is the speed? Distance by time, that will be 135 by 3 by 2. And this is 135 into 2 by 3. 3 4s are, 3 5s are. This will be 90 kilometers per hour. Now how would I convert 90 kilometers per hour into meters per second? Multiply this with 5 by 18, right? That's what we did, 5 by 18 meters per second. So 18 ones are, 18 fives are, I am getting the answer as 25 meters per second. This is one way. The other way is that I have converted distance in meters and time in seconds. Simply just apply the speed as distance by time. 1 2 I get cancelled this. 9 ones are, 9 15s are, 3 2s are, 3 5s are, and 2 1s are, 2 5s are. This will give me 25 meters per second. The same answer, right? You do any of this, whatever suits you, whatever makes you feel comfortable, but just make sure you have this consistency unit, right? I don't want you to mix up meters with hours to get kilometers per hour or something, or meters or kilometers with seconds to get meters per second. That cannot work. So just be careful of how the units are and make them consistent and solve the question.